This is the time.
Yeah. What's happening, everybody? We're about to do another accountability success circle quickie.
Making it quick, just the tip.
Just the tips. And we're all about how to slide into a post-pandemic life. We're about to get started in just a moment. Let us know where you're dialing in from. Put it in the comments. April, are you ready to get down?
I'm ready. I'm listening to the lyrics of the song.
Right? All right, everybody. We're going to get down in 5, 4.
Count it down, Gary.
3, 2, 1.
Yay! Oh my god, I love that. Oh, you know when we started like doing all of these quickies? Do you know that we've done a quickie 53 times? I mean, it's just so funny that like that song just gives the vibe of all the joking around that we had like how many years ago when we started this thing. It's just been 2 years, but our 2-year affair with success quickies.
Right? Yeah.
But like I love that it's just so fun. But that song today was that just made me
my gosh.
So,
yeah. And,
what do you guys think about it? Everybody out there watching us, like with our success quickies, does that give you like the vibe of like almost wanting to I don't know. It makes me want to laugh because of just the fact that we call this a quickie and it feels like very like, ooh, but what we're talking about is really about having success. So it's got this double entendre. I don't even know if I'm using those words right, but like, yeah. If you guys have any suggestions of what genre of intro music we should have, like, let us know and maybe we'll put that into our future ones. But if you really like this one, you'll just be hearing me giggle at the start of every quickie.
Right? Oh my gosh. My buddy Steve, he put a comment and he said, caller number 27 wins roller skates. So apparently I sound like I was a radio DJ.
Yeah. So, yeah, no,
that
totally was there. Awesome.
Yay. So let's jump into it. As the title suggests, we're going to talk about how you can slide into what we call the PPL, the post-pandemic life. And I don't know about you, but it seems like everything went from, oh, we're in a pandemic, let's not see each other than virtual, to, whoa, what are you doing? Hey, let's do this. Like, it seemed like overnight, or at least I'm in California where as of June 15th, the state lifted all sort of COVID restrictions as far as the amount of people that can be gathering together and masks and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, it feels like my schedule got kind of busy with outside of the house things. And so are you feeling some similar stuff, April?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that I have been a little bit more protective of my time, just kind of maybe pre-anticipating that this was what was going to happen. And so, I think that some of the reason why this is a topic today is because, it's people are out and about. People aren't wearing masks. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of like trying to readjust to not just what we were doing before, but like an adjusted version of that and being able to make that choice or like, I think also, when all the things around you are kind of giving you pressures or just, that are like activity starting to buzz, you start to think, like, where do I fit in this? Which is why we're going to talk about that today. Cause I do feel like people have been reaching out, but I've also been very protective of like not trying to get back into the pace of that. Which is why only yesterday I was going through the 90 text messages that were unread since May 1st in my phone. So, but I'm up to date now. I only have 3. Oh, it looks like 5 now. But, that's kind of the crazy part of like just trying to make sure. So we're going to share some tips with you to make sure that you don't go into this like crazy like burnout before we even get to really enjoy normal life again. So, yeah.
Yeah. So let's jump into it.
Yeah.
First one, April alluded to it. It's all about acknowledging where you are. This is the spectrum. And we are in a new way of being, a new way of seeing things. So first and foremost, in order to, slide into this post-pandemic life, we need to stop comparing things to pre-pandemic life, regardless of what that means to you. For me, one of the things that I know I was doing, I was like, oh my gosh, pre-pandemic Gary didn't weigh as much. Pre-pandemic Gary, had different habits, and yes, that is true. However, is that going to be helpful? Is that going to get you to where you want to be and help you like ease into it? And so, just like with anything, you just need to just acknowledge where you are and what you're feeling, and those are valid. And what do you got?
I mean, I think too, I what's so beautiful about this whole new wave of, or starting over. I mean, it's like a new beginning, right? And if you were feeling like the pandemic was really limiting you and it was just like such a challenging time, like the good news is that the only way is up from here. But I think that, acknowledging where you're at, I mean, you might be somebody who's ready to like zing back into life, which is great. Maybe also acknowledge that other people might not be there, and that's okay too. So just making sure that you have the awareness first and foremost about what your state is. Just like Gary, again, I'm on the, trying to get rid of the COVID weight as well, and trying to figure all that out. But what's beautiful about once you know where you're at, you can go into another step.
Yes.
Right? So we'll
yes,
slide right
exactly.
into number 2.
We're going to slide right into number 2. And I first want to acknowledge Steve, who said after the snap. And so for those of you who are Marvel fans out there, what he's referring to is in Endgame, where half of the population was sort of extinguished, and then they had to go and fix it. Then there was that sort of chaos that happened where some people... and it's actually, now that I think about it, it's very relevant because after the snap, it was like some people came back as if nothing had happened. Other people, is like they were gone for 5 years, and they were getting reacquainted with stuff. And I think that's how it is. Like, during the pandemic, we have our first responders and people that had to keep going as if it was business as usual. And other people were... I wouldn't say hibernating, but they were sheltering in place, and now we're all sort of integrating again, and it's pretty chaotic. And so number 2, it's okay to give yourself permission to press that reset button. Again, use this as a time to say, instead of like saying I need to pick up exactly where I was pre-pandemic, or I expect myself to do X, Y, and Z. Just give yourself grace. We were stuck inside for 15 plus months, and I know if you're anything like April and myself, you probably are very one of those type A people that are like, hey, I got things I got to do. I have big goals, big aspirations. But again, you can slow down and don't feel guilty. If you didn't get the reset that other people got during the pandemic. There was a lot of adjusting that we had to do, a lot of limitations. And for some of us, since we do talk about like what are your goals and what are the things you want to achieve, some of us had to put a lot of that stuff on hold. Mm-hmm. And now you're slowly getting back into it. What do you got, April?
Yeah. I mean, I think that just as an example, I feel like whatever was serving you pre-pandemic, you have the opportunity to say, like, does that serve me anymore? So I went through this process of like kind of going through my calendar, and I'm like, you know what, I had everything in my electronic calendar, and then all of a sudden I couldn't keep up, and I lost a lot of the ability to like keep some of these routines that were like this before the pandemic. So I wrote them all down on a list, and I deleted them off my calendar because I was like, I need something's happening where it's like now the to-do list is like, I can't even keep up with it. I can't even keep up with my routines. So something's not working. And so I'm resetting all of my routines. And it all started with, you know, like, what time am I waking up in the morning? So I'm in that process now. And just a little quick preview, we'll probably talk about this more deeply in the ASC in the coming month. But the reset button is so important because, you know, it's like wiping off a clean slate. Like when you have, you know, this pile of garbage that's like building up, you know that like you won't be able to see the bottom of that garbage bag, right? So being able to like put in a new clean, fresh garbage bag and start from there is way easier sometimes. And I think that this is a time where we can utilize and leverage that clean slate, because, you know, people are still trying to figure out who they are. And so give yourself that opportunity to press the reset button. You don't have to have that expectation of just picking up where you left off on March 13th, 2020. Right. So, yeah. And I think that then that can then take us to the next step, number 3.
Yes. And so that is all about reinvention. Who do you want? Like, this is a great sort of, I call it, you know, the great restart of, you know, who do you want to be? What are the things that, that you want to do? Let's reinvent ourselves. And that, just thinking of that, to me personally, it feels very exciting. It's not overwhelming. And, you know, we like to say, now that we got the bare minimum, was that bare minimum that you need to survive and set yourself up for success? Once you got that taken care of, then you can start to like think of like, oh, what else? I've done what I like to call email bankruptcy. Like seriously, there was a lot of stuff where like I just couldn't deal with it, so I just sort of like put it all in archive and marked red. And if you're one of the people who are watching and I haven't responded to you, please forgive me. It's been a rough time.
Me too. I've got like 3,000 plus unread messages, so that's sorry.
Yes. But the main thing is, it's exciting to think about what could I be? You know, there are people that are getting new jobs. There are people that are changing careers, you know, as a result of this. So in the word of improvisation, we like to play the game, unfortunately, fortunately. And in that game, you talk about, oh, unfortunately, this happened. And fortunately, this happened. And yes, it is unfortunate that we have spent, you know, what it seemed like a lifetime not being able to do the things that we normally do. But fortunately, you know, this is an opportunity to think about what's important and maybe start to shift focus. Because I hear a lot about people saying, oh, I want to go back to the way things were. But if we're honest, like some of the things that it was, I wasn't a big fan of that anyway. So I like to say, you know, going forward, what is the way that you would like it to be? And how can you focus on that? And Apryl, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, and I think what's great about this is like, you know, we were just talking about in step 2, it's having that clean slate. This is the time where you can kind of experiment with new things. You can keep what you like and throw away what you don't. Like, try everything. And, you know, so even as part of my process, thinking about like, okay, I used to have like times carved out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm at a point right now where I don't even like, with the whole like trying to lose some pounds, I'm like, I just want to eat when I'm hungry. So do I need to schedule that in? I don't really need to. And so, you know, maybe I'll just try this, you know, eat when I'm hungry. But then if I need to align something with, you know, what my kids need or whatnot, then I can be a little bit more diligent. But maybe the way for me post-pandemic is just to like have a bare minimum of set appointments. Like Gary is the only person that I'm seeing. I have a ton of stuff that I need to do, but Gary's the only person that I'm really seeing today. and some people in the ASC, but that's it. Trying to keep things simple, trying to keep things spread out, and just really trying to have as much time as possible until I'm ready to, set some things in stone. So there's that. But then also thinking about like what things that you might try. I always come back to like, what are the things that excite you? Is now a time, like, are you, reflecting and realizing like, I need some new hobby to take on, or I need something that's going to allow me to connect with people in person, or I need to, completely reinvent my career. Like, what are the things that you can do to get yourself, get yourself trying new things, and what are the things that you value and that you can do more of right now, as you're trying to create those new definitions. So yeah, it's just a really great opportunity to think about, what you want to be moving forward and not trying to go back to the way things were. So yeah, so those are our 3 steps. It's really about like, if you need to like clear your desk, go and do it right now, and just start over, and don't allow yourself to fall back into what may have worked for you pre-pandemic. So yeah, I hate how you put that up, and I can't replicate, but Gary is a badass too. He's the master of all of this crazy technology. I like being able to sit here and show up. So, but anyways, is that all for our 3 tips?
Yeah, just the tips. That was it. So let us know what you think in the comments. Again, like my buddy Steve says, always moving forward, never backwards. And Apryl, if people liked what they saw and they wanted to get more than just the tip, where can they get the whole thing? Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that all of you guys have, if you've seen all other 52, then thank you so much. But if this is the first time you're checking us out, Gary and I run a community called the Accountability Success Circle. We are a group of awesome people from all over the world who are just trying to, have fun in life, but like also accomplish some really great personal and professional goals. So if you are looking for that, please join us and just check out www.accountabilitysuccesscircle.com. It's long, but it's well worth it. We have a really awesome annual retreat that happens every October that is kind of the cornerstone of like, or the reset as if you will, of our year. And we are actually offering a 2-for-1 registration right now for, I guess, about 1 more week, and you can find all of that in the community if you want to check it out. If you do check out the ASC and you're interested, you can, and maybe you're not sure, you could try it out for a month for free just to see what's going on in there, see if you like it. And then if you like it, then you can stay. So we encourage you to check us out. If you are thinking about, what's 2022 going to look like and you need help with that reinvention, the retreat is a great way to check that out too. So if you're interested or, want to bring a friend, then definitely do that. So that's it. Yay.
Yay. Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you, everyone, for another amazing time hanging out virtually, I guess you can say. Let us know in the comments which one of the tips was your favorite. And stay tuned for another Quickie in a couple of minutes. No.
Couple of minutes. Let's do it.
No.
Just kidding.
Couple of weeks. We'll be back.
Wants to go twice in a day. Oh man.
Right? Oh, we're gonna make it a double. So you've lost your mind. Anyways. So Apryl, like always, it is always a pleasure playing with you. Yes, and so let's cue the music, and we'll see you all later.
See you later. Woo-hoo. I love that music.